Alright, we should be live now. I'm kind of running a little bit behind. Let me get this poll set up and we'll get started. Lower than 5. There we go. Poll's out. Anyways, how's it going, everyone? My name is Mitchell Mander, and welcome to today's live stream. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Horizons episode 131. The return of many characters. Lucario gets a new Megastone. We get the debut of Mega Halucha. And yeah. So how was this episode overall? Well, before we get started, a few things. If it'd be cool if you're brand new to the channel, you like this type of content, it'd be pretty cool if you subscribe to the channel, like the stream, watch as much as you can, join the chat, all that good stuff. Vote in the poll if you're watching live. Yeah, and if you're brand new, what we do here is I usually give it about 5 to 10 minutes for people to show up. Then I start giving a summary of the episode, my thoughts on the episode, and then afterwards, after I give my rating for the episode, I give it over to the chat. We usually go on for about an hour, hour and a half, depending on who's all here, and yeah. We usually have a fun time. And then the music you hear in the background comes from a separate stream, the Video Game Study Lounge by Game Chops. I'll link in the description. Lo-fi remixes of video game music, along with some originals sprinkled in here and there. You'll hear stuff from Pokemon, Final Fantasy, Mario, Zelda, pretty much like any top video game franchise out there with good music. You'll probably hear it, so should check it out sometime. Alright, looks like Sharon's here. Hello, can't stay long. It's Avengers Endgame stuff. Yep. 7 out of 10. You'll be here for the next discussion. Starmie just Mega Evolved itself. Yep. Seems like it really likes to stay in that Mega Evolved state. But yeah. How's everyone's day going, by the way? Hope you're doing well. You can hear me, right? Also, people are comparing Roy Lucario with Ash to Greninja. Why? Oh, hey, what's up, Thomas? I noticed Lico's goal of becoming a trainer that understands how Pokemon feel is not being utilized. Lico should have been the one to notice Lucario and Roy are out of sync. She should have helped. I suppose. I do feel like her, she wants to understand how Pokemon feel. I feel like the whole plot with the strong spears and it separating people's bonds with Pokemon and, cause them to, go feral and all that stuff kind of, relates to what she wants. Like, you can't really understand Pokemon's feelings if they're all under Requiem and, hostile and can't form bonds with trainers, so I don't know, that's just my 2 cents there. Mega Starmie is the mighty G Pokemon. Surprised you're here, Sharon. I thought you weren't showing up today. But you can't stay long, so you're good. Lucario needs to learn Aura Sphere the next episode. We'll see what happens. It could happen. Whoa, we got 10 people here now. Pokefan, hey, what's up? King Shepherd 1994. They don't explain if Roy has Aura. I mean, does it need to be explained? By the way, what's up? Welcome in. Again, I'll just take this time to say if I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button and also voted in the poll. If we got 10 people here, maybe 10 likes, maybe. Can we get to 10? Please and thanks. Vote in that poll. 4 votes so far. We need more. People are complaining that the whole thing with Diana is that the same episode as Roy and Lucario's remake. Who's complaining? Where are you getting this from, Sharon? Who's complaining? Why? I feel like they should have taken more time to develop Roy with the whole Mega Lucario Z thing. Well, we're kind of getting that. I mean, we're kind of getting that developed over 2 episodes. He got it, but it didn't work. So it's not like he earned it, like, right off the bat. He's gotta... He lost the match today, so he's kind of got to work, work it out. Controversial hot take. It pretty much mixed on the idea of Aura Sphere. On one hand, it's cool. On the other hand, I actually wouldn't mind if Lucario's moveset was unique, like Kukui's Lucario, to help it stand out. Maybe. Good point. So why isn't Liko's goal being emphasized more in these storylines? Also, I want her to get a turn for more battle focus and tie her understanding how Pokemon feel into it. I mean, we could see that as we kind of wrap up the main storyline. We'll see. Liko was a bit concerned for Roy after his defeat in this episode, but he quickly, turned it around. People are well, why are people Sharon, where is this coming from? I'm asking you, where are you getting this information from? Can you tell me, please? Why are people complaining, dude? People complain that Roy didn't get enough in part 1 of Horizons. Now they're complaining he's getting too much focus now? Make it make sense. Also, all this battling Diana, not Liko. Yeah, I've read your comment. I'm getting this from Cerebi forums. Oh, that's why. That's where it's coming from. I was hoping when Horizon started we'd be away from the toxicity in the community, but it seems like that's not the case. But yeah, anyways, in a minute I'll begin my summary. I guess that's a good thing why I'm tuned out from the community nowadays, because I just don't really pay attention, besides the few I see on social media. I really enjoyed this episode. Solid development for Roy and Lucario. Lucario's kind of needed it for a little bit, so there's that. I like how Roy's getting all this focus, but I want Liko to get her turn. I don't like how she was just given the armor. I mean, she's still being... Excuse me. She still is getting development. It's just maybe not quite as much as, like, Part 1, where she was essentially the main protagonist in Part 1. Roy's kind of... I've said this before. I feel like the reason why Liko and Roy are, like, listed as main characters is because first part of Horizons, Liko's the main focus. Second part of Horizons, Roy is the main focus. It seems to be kind of checking out. Like, we could have gotten a Liko or Diana rematch in the next episode. I mean, we could, but, yeah. But we're getting Roy versus Mayonnaise again. Daniel's travel vlogs. Hey, welcome in. I think the universe affected the Pokemon Pokopia, the Ash's universe, due to many of the Pokemon being hinted toward the Ash anime. Oh, really? That's cool. I don't plan on playing Pokopia, but that's kind of neat. Anyways, we're at the we're at about the 10-minute mark, so we'll stop there. I'll continue reading the chat when I'm done with my summary for this episode. So, yeah, let's talk about the summary for this episode. So, episode 131. So, everyone's waiting for Freed to arrive, and so the kids are like, oh, yeah, it's time to go, And it looks like Orla's done with the Rising, or the Bravasagi. It's pretty much all set. But we're just waiting for Freed to arrive. And we keep getting kind of bamboozled. We're like, oh, what? It's Freed. Oh, wait. It's Sodio and Piran, who apparently seem to be a thing now. They met up and they've been traveling along with each other. And they're going to be helping us, spread the good news that the Rising Bolt Tacklers are not the bad guys. And they're going to have proof. So that's how we're going to turn our reputation around. Thanks to these two. And then we get another ring, and it turns out to be Nimona, Penny, and Anne. So they're here. So surely the next person is going to be Freed, and it sounds like it's Freed, but it turns out to be Master Mayonnaise. And apparently he just met Freed. So, yeah, Master Mayonnaise is here, and Liko reaction to Master Mayonnaise showing up was hilarious. Loved it. But apparently, Master Mayonnaise met up with Freed, who was basically he was tailing Freed, and Freed, being so close to Exceed and Levincia, was very cautious about being tracked around. Thought it was maybe one of the explorers or Exceed trying to get him. So he ends up meeting up with one of his colleagues, and apparently he's got some help from inside the company. One of his, I think his name's Younger. So, looks like we're gonna get some inside help from within the company. Neat. So, anyways, back to the present, near the present. Freed gets out of there and then meets Mayonnaise, Master Mayonnaise, who's obsessed with Megastarmy because, of course, he's a Mega Evolution specialist. So. But apparently he's heard about all the stuff going on, and he somehow was able to track down Roy and Alt's whereabouts to Levincia in the Paldea region. And he came to give Roy a new Megastone for his Lucario, the newly discovered Lucario Knight Z. Garium Z or whatever it's called. So we got to test it out. So we get the debut, not only of this new Megastone, but we get the debut of Mega Halucha here. Well, that Halucha that we all thought was gonna be Alt or something like that turned out to be Master Mayonnaise's Halucha the whole time. And so they have a battle. Things are kind of not going Roy's way, pretty much the whole battle, really. And Halucha's just showing off, being the show-off Pokemon he is. But, anywho, as the battle goes on, Master Mayonnaise Mega Evolves its Halucha and uses Encore on Lucario after you use Infight once, and causes it to keep using it over and over again, and as a result, it throws its bond off with Roy. So when Roy tries to Mega Evolve it, he can't do so, and it just keeps using Infight, which ends up being its downfall, and Master Mayonnaise wins. But Roy isn't one to give up, so he said that he's going to continue to train up here and eventually overcome his weakness in today's episode, which obviously next episode he's going to win. We already see that they overcame that weakness and Mega Evolves it into Lucario Z in the next episode. But anyways, we finally leave Levincia. We're going off to pick up Diana, and we're off to Galar again. So yeah, it's pretty much what today's episode was about. So overall, I thought this episode was decent. you know, the whole crew's here. We're getting everybody together to go off back to Rakua to take on Spinel and his goons. And I'm wondering if Master Mayonnaise is going to be joining us too. We're getting kind of an OP crew with us. He may or may not be with us, but then again, he traveled with the Galler, so I guess we'll see. He might be part of the crew now. But, yeah, you know, again, you know, Lucario lost again, but again, he's going up against a Mega Evolution Specialist and a trainer with experience, so I'm not too surprised, but it's pretty clear that he's going to lose, only to win in the next episode. It's pretty clear where this story's going. But, yeah, overall, I enjoyed this episode. It's a decent part of this, what I assume to be a two-parter here. And I do like, another thing I want to mention is that Freed says the line as they're getting ready to head off. They see the Bravasagi, like, with its new specs and stuff like that. He's like, oh, we're rising again. See what they did there. They're bringing the arc full circle. So, yeah. So, decent episode. Enjoyed it. Anyways, what'd you guys think? Anyways, let's get back to the chat. Starting off with Thomas's comment where he says, I like that Roy loss. It showcased how he's relying too much on brute force and has to earn the new Mega Evolution. Exactly. I said that he wasn't just he didn't just get the Mega Evolution. He clearly, you know, has to work for it. And the Mega Evolution Specialist is going to train him and get him, you know, strong enough and good enough to where he can master it. I mean, we expected Roy to get Mega Lucario Z since it was announced. Sure, Sharon, but the question was how. I do think it's a little bit plot convenient for Master Mayonnaise to somehow track Roy down to Paldea. That's like my only gripe with it. That being said, I do think his reintroduction here is funny, with Liko basically freaking out as soon as she saw him. Thought that was funny. Actually heard Game's doing really good. Surprised. Bacon Bear Ninja, hello. Still no Arvin or Kieran. Why? I don't know. I mean, what are you going to do at this point? What are they going to contribute to the plot and the Rakua stuff at this point? I think the best thing is if the series is continuing on, we still don't really know what's next. But if the series is to continue on, then, you know, maybe they'll be involved in whatever we got left, you know, filling in the time until Winds and Waves comes out. We just don't know. We're going into I will say this, we are going into completely unknown territory, so all I want to say is I want to be surprised. Kind of like when, you know, Roy showed up with a Mega Lucario, a shiny Mega Lucario, on Pokemon Day last year. That was kind of a surprise. Can we get something like that again? Also, Roy just going on with brute force. Yeah. Really good. Yep. We got all these characters on board. Should interact with Quackable since they have the same tail feathers as the Pokemon that likes to show off, and it was funny how it threw it fit when the moment got interrupted. People complain that Roy has a whack team with shiny Mega, two Mega forms, Lucario and a powerhouse Skellydirge. A whack team? Well, these people don't know what they're talking about, Sharon. They just complain for the sake of complaining. We got that new merch for Mega Ray. Yeah. Did you know that there are only 4 characters that have Mega Pokemon freed? Oh, yeah. Having a full team of Mega Pokemon. That's Horizons. It's overly convenient plot points again and again and again. Still my favorite series. Yep. And the Mega Zygarde could still be a surprise. Yeah, we'll see. Could see it on a poster. Just saying. They're going to have Galar. If they are going to Galar, we have to have an extra... can we get Nessa? My friend, you know I want Nessa... personally, I want some other characters that didn't show up to show up as well. You know, we had a freaking gym leader that literally showed up that didn't show up in the prior series. But only one. Because plot. But yeah, I agree. The question is, how would we fit this in? G-Max Headerain. I don't think that's gonna happen though. I don't think Dynamax is really much of a focus in this series at all. We haven't even seen one Pokemon Dynamax despite being in Galar for a little bit. Heck, weren't we in the wild area too? I wish they bring back a new Pokemon Chronicles. Well, I don't know if... I mean, if they're going to do something like that, we kind of need more specials. Which we haven't gotten any, like, specials since X and Y. We didn't have any in the last two series. So, unfortunately, unless they do something different, I'm not sure. I would like each character to have their own special, personally. I mean, if we're going to stretch out time, why not? When the series ends. Do it to kind of close the chapter for each character. Give Liko Zataria, which can Mega Evolve. Gotta go, see you next week. Alright, Sharon, see ya. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Okay. Kind of got silent suddenly. What do you think of Mega Lucario Z Shiny? Looks neat. Guess we'll see how it appears. Guess we'll see how its fighting style is in the anime. Should be interesting. Trying to think what else I want to talk about here. Admittedly, when it comes to this episode, there isn't really a ton to talk about, and because we're just strapped for information, we don't really know what's next. I know some people are questioning whether the current arc is still going into April or not. Which, if it does, then this is kind of a break in tradition. Because each arc has been, like, roughly 5 months. So, but some people were pointing out that the Mega Evolution episodes are considered special episodes that are not tied to this arc, which I kind of slightly disagree, since we got a certain character from that special that's here now. But, hey, I don't know. The Rising Again could be expanded into like a third core, but I don't know. We're kind of going into completely unknown territory where we don't really know what, besides obviously the final confrontation, what's next for the series. We just don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the fight in Rakua went on for quite a bit. It could go from just like maybe 2 or 3 episodes to like a full like half arc, who knows. It probably is because we only have 2 episodes. Well, technically we only have 1 more episode because next week's episode is it for this month. But the last 2 years, it's literally ended on the same time. Like the third Well, I don't know how the previous 2 marches were structured exactly, but we went on a 2-week break before starting, you know, Terrestrial debut and then Mega Voltage, respectively. So, I don't know. All I gotta say is I would like the series to surprise me. Like, surprise me. For all we know, we could get the poster next week. It's just kind of interesting because literally yesterday, a year ago yesterday, we got the Mega Voltage poster, and then we got a second poster like a week later. I went back and looked. We got the first poster like the week before, and the second one on the last episode of Rayquaza Rising. So I don't know. They're kind of hyping up this rematch between Lucario and Hawlucha. I noticed that they posted another poster of that, which I might post here in a little bit, maybe later today, or later this weekend. Who knows? Whenever I get time. Wow, it really got quiet up in here. I know this episode wasn't like super crazy, and we're still kind of strapped for information as to what's coming up next, so there's probably not like a whole lot to talk about. But like I said, surprise me, Horizons. Give me something I wouldn't expect. I mean, literally a year, again, I said this earlier, Shiny Mega Lucario was a huge surprise last year that nobody saw coming. So, I would like that element of surprise to get us again. Because did anyone see that coming before it got announced? No. Give me something that, like, none of us can predict. Like, we can predict, like, 50 different things, but then Horizon comes in and is like, oh, we're doing this instead. Gonna eat lunch and come back. Alright, Pokefan. See you in a bit. That makes me hungry for lunch. Yeah, we're kind of quiet today. So, for those that are here, what you want to chit-chat about? Or do you have anything else to talk about for this episode? Also, sorry if you can hear my neighbors' dogs. They're very loud and yappy when they're outside. Give me 1 second. Okay. Hope we spend at least 2 episodes in Galar. We'll see, buddy. We'll see. We'll see how this episode goes. I do find it interesting that we're having the rematch in Galar, of all places. Then again, they can do some training on the way. So you can imply that Roy got a little bit stronger. Was Diana's castle rebuilt? Diana is quite an interesting lady. I wouldn't be surprised if she had her castle all rebuilt in the time that has passed since then. It's been over a year at that point since it was destroyed, so maybe in that time she got it fixed up, maybe got some Pokemon to maybe renovate it. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know how costs like that happen in the Poke world versus our world. I just know in our world, it's just basically at that point, just like, yeah, guess we're just leaving. Moving out. Love how Nimona is getting more screen time. Yep. I mean, considering now that they're basically on the crew now, They're basically part of the Rising Bolt Tacklers, essentially Herb and Penny. You know, and Freed's back in the mold. We have Master Mayonnaise hanging out with us. So he, like I said, he may or may not be part of the crew going to Rakua here. We got Sodio back. We got Perrin back, who I'm surprised is back. These were two characters that I thought their stories were done in the series, but nope. And in fact, they're going to play the role of, you know, winning back the Rising Bolt Tackler's reputation. So that's neat. That's a good way to make them plot relevant and also give them some importance in the series. Diana, of course. I was kind of hoping, you know, Liko mom and dad would, you know, be slightly more important, but, you know, I guess I'll take Grandma. But yeah, the whole crew's here. They're gonna be, well, since they're on the crew, that means they're pretty much gonna be in every episode going, you know, until they leave. So that's cool. They should give her Hisui and Gudra, Nimona as a champion, make it happen. Hisui and Gudra, that would be kind of interesting. Would be neat. Anywho, for those that are here, thank you for joining here. If you could hit that like button, we're at 4 likes. Can we get at least one more till 5? Remember the vote in the poll. We got 10 votes. 10-9 is winning. Someone voted lower than 5, which I'm going to just assume is Fizz because Iona was in the episode. And it just ruined his day. Unless there's a certain other person that didn't like the episode for one reason or another. Yeah, we're having a very quiet stream today. Which, unfortunately, I don't really have a whole lot of material to go off of since we don't really have anything new right now. Until we get said poster, which could happen this week. We could get it. We just don't know. We just gotta stay tuned. Hopefully it doesn't happen on the day that I have my procedure at the dentist. That would suck. Hey guys, I'd be talking about this episode, but, you know, kind of getting, you know, a procedure done. Who knows? But, we'll find out soon enough, right? But, yeah. You guys got anything for me out there? Because I'm gonna be real, I don't really have much right now. Damn, I realized something. In the Kalos specials, Mayonnaise criticized Alt for relying on brute force, and now he used Encore to show that Roy that brute force doesn't work. Huh. That's kind of neat. Kind of going to show that, you know, Roy fell into some bad habits. It's kind of neat when you think about it. Oh. Sorry, got distracted by looking at something. But, yeah, we're not really having a whole lot of chats today, so This might actually be a shorter stream than usual if we don't. There's not too many other people chit-chatting here. So basically right now, so far just chit-chatting with Thomas. Anyone else that's here that wants to pipe in and say something, feel free to do so. So, I'ma just chill. Currently at 45% vote-wise. Oh, hey, 10-9 and 8-7 are tied in the poll now. 5 votes each. With one person voting lower than 5. Interesting. Oh, man. Encore was used in this episode specifically to force Roy to keep using brute force to spell out as clearly as possible that brute force doesn't work. Nomona said the same thing a few episodes ago. Yeah, it's a lesson he needs to learn, and maybe in the next episode he'll overcome his weakness here and get a lot stronger. Guess we'll see soon enough, right? I mean, I think we can all agree that Lucario is winning the rematch. I mean, it's just pretty obvious that it'd be kind of surprising if he mega evolved into his new form and lost again. But we'll see. Granted, when he lost in today's episode, he wasn't mega evolved, so he had that disadvantage too. What if the battle is called off? I hope not. Imagine if he's about to win and they're like, alright, that's enough. I actually don't think I would like that, personally. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of battles being called off unless there's like a specific reason. Like a threat or something. Okay. But yeah, I guess this upcoming week is going to pretty much determine if the Rising Again arc is going to end or if it's indeed continuing into April. Because we're kind of going into unknown territory, so I don't know, maybe those special episodes in October push this arc into April, but that would be kind of strange. I feel like those special episodes should be considered, part of this arc now, with Master Mayonnaise being here and stuff. Do you work out? I haven't recently. I used to go to the gym a lot. With the weather starting to improve here, I might start going out on walks again. I like walking. Sometimes I do it after these streams. I need to get in the habit of working out again. I haven't really had a whole lot of time. Weather's also been really kinda not the best either recently. Had really bad wind yesterday. Just kinda made it, hard to really want to go out and do anything. I'm still suffering from long COVID. Dang, dude. I'm sorry, man. Interesting enough, I never actually got it. There was one time I thought I did get it, but it was just a normal cold. I didn't have any of the normal symptoms that came, like, you know, losing your taste and stuff like that. I worked remotely since the pandemic, so that was a good way to kind of keep me away from people that potentially had it. Do you know anyone with long COVID? I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure my friend's wife has it. I think she might be over it now, but I know that she caught it and she was suffering from the after effects of it, which pretty much was long COVID. But yeah, it's been kind of an interesting change. It almost feels like 2 lifetimes, like before BC and AC, before COVID, after COVID. It definitely changed a lot of different things in the world, especially with the Pokemon anime, with it going on hiatus for a couple months. And it was not the only show. I feel like it should have probably been on break a little bit longer. I think it actually came back a little bit sooner than it should have. Because there were other shows that were still off for like a month, whereas they came back pretty quickly. I remember back then I was like, man, I don't have anything to talk about suddenly on my channel. So those are fun times. Back when I used to just do videos. Didn't really know what I was doing back then. It was fun. Fun times. But is there anything else regarding this episode that anyone wants to talk about, or the next? It seems like we're kind of down to just a few of us here, so we might wrap up early today if we don't have a large crowd here anymore. But yeah, feel free to, you know, chit chat about anything in the chat. I'm willing to talk. You know, but I don't want to repeat myself, but considering once again, we don't really have a whole lot of information right now with the series, you know, waiting on some more info, which we're probably going to get next week. Just gonna put it out there. No poster this week, so yeah. Once we get said poster, I will definitely be making a video. Like I said, I hope it doesn't come on the day when I have my procedure next week. Because probably won't be making a video as fast as I normally do. Or as soon as I am, just because of that. Which I believe is on the 18th, which is next week. Yeah, next Wednesday. 4 days from now. I'm still shocked that Dot didn't get a Dottler that evolved into an Orbeetle. Introverted science Pokemon. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't do something like that. Especially the name too. It's just funny. Well, I guess I don't know what its name is in Japanese, so yeah. Five people watching. But anywho, you got anything else for me? Oh, speak of the devil. If Orbeetle was shiny, or it would even match her color scheme. Oh, hello. Oh, yay, Harlster. Hey, what's up? It's been quiet for a little bit. How you doing? You're here! Everyone cheered. How's it going? Sorry about that. I overslept. You're fine. You good? I'm doing good. How about you? I'm doing pretty good. A little sleepy, but I'm good. I'm chilling. It's Saturday. No work today. Just hanging out, talking about this episode and stuff while Pokemon music doesn't show up on the lo-fi stream. It's been all Zelda pretty much for a while now. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this episode, Harlster? I enjoyed this episode. Yeah. Yeah, enough to rank it to 10? 9? Hey, now we're talking. We're up to 15 votes. Somebody voted lower than 5, and I would like to know why. It might be Fizz. He saw Iono in the episode, gave him PTSD, so he's like, gotta rate lower than 5 again. I like what they did with Roy and Lucario. Glad we also got to see Mayonnaise in action too. Yep. 8 out of 10. Nice. Master Mayonnaise. That guy. He's a character, that's for sure. Just chilling with the Zelda music in the background. Yeah, it's a bit of a quiet stream today. It's okay. We've had a lot of people at the last few, so it's a little bit of a breather, I guess, for this Saturday. I am getting a little bit on the hungry side, so I gotta figure out what I want to eat today. Oh hey, they broke the Zelda, and now we're getting Sonic music. I'm glad we also got Mega Halucha in the anime now. Oh, a little bit more ZA representation for you. Any more ZA representation that we need in the series? Like I said, you weren't here when I was mentioning this, but since we're kind of at an unknown point in the series, I know we got this final confrontation coming up. I want to be surprised as to what's coming next, but the question is the Rising Again arc ending with next week's episode? It would be on schedule with the previous 2 years, but people have kind of noted that those Mega Evolution episodes back in October technically don't count, even though I slightly disagree, because it kind of does count now that we have a character from said Mega Evolution specials showing up here. So maybe we should consider it part of that arc. I know that I'm pretty sure when it's dubbed in English, if it hasn't been already, it will probably be, you know, included in that part of the series. Mega Lucha looks sick. Definitely Mega Victreebel. Oh god. Imagine all the shenanigans and funny things we can get with that derpy Mega God. That would be more of a comical episode. Still, 3 episodes may not be enough for the final showdown with Spinel. Should be at least 5. That's why I'm saying, like, if we're gonna do the next arc, it should be, you know, wrapping things up. And we should probably, you know, do a few episodes beforehand preparing. I think it should be, like, if they're gonna do a whole arc for it, it should be a couple episodes in preparation. Like, we're heading out there, but we gotta, like, figure out a few things, like, maybe beforehand, maybe do some last-minute training or something like that. Or maybe it's not an easy way to get in. And then we have the final, you know, the final confrontation take place over, you said, 5 episodes. 5 or maybe a little bit more, we'll see. They could stretch it out with all these characters being involved. And then, once we're done with that, maybe have a couple episodes where the rival tacklers are improving their reputation. And maybe go around and maybe resolve a few, like, lingering issues around, you know, the Pokemon world. And then, you know, after that, we can, like, figure out what we're doing next after that. Maybe we can get a bit of training when they get to Diana. Yeah, we're technically already having Roy versus Master Mayonnaise Part 2. Which they seem to be hyping up, but yeah, some people have been suggesting that the Rising Again arc isn't ending until next month, so I don't know. This would kind of be a break in the in kind of the format for the series if they do that, though. In the next arc, they should introduce Arvin in a speaking role. He still does not do anything of noteworthy, but it would just mean our gang knows he exists. It would be nice if he did something, you know, but I guess if we have this extra time of Horizons, who knows? The floor is the limit. Or the sky's the limit. They could go in many different directions. I mean, again, if we have we don't know when Winds and Waves is dropping exactly. Likely late 2027, but they could surprise us and say May 2027. Or something like that, or spring 2027 sometime. Who knows? Would be a little bit of a change. But we shall see. Imagine if healing Mobostif is what clears the Ravensbolt Tackler's name. Ooh. That would be neat, actually, but they could do something like where, like, people still don't trust him. So they need to figure out a way to be like, okay, we need to, you know, we're still not in the clear. Officer Jenny's still on our tail. What do we do to, you know, further convince people that we're not bad? And then that's when Nimona brings up, hey, I have this pal named Arvin that is having an issue with his Mobostif. Let's go and see him. And then we find out it's sick. Maybe it got a little bit of, you know, got exposed to the strong spheres or something like that and got injured. And maybe we need to go and try and, you know, fix him up. And so we do that, and then that helps clear our names a little bit or something. That could work. But then I just think, then what's the point with that? Yeah. Because what's the point of getting him saying, hey guys, I exist, and not do anything noteworthy? I feel like they introduce him, he has to do something noteworthy to help the gang, or they help him. I do think that like the helium exhaustive thing could work as a plot point, though. Oh, hey, look, everyone, look who's here. It's Fizzle Wizard. No Iono. Do we tell him the news, guys? Maybe Harlster, I'll let you let Fizzin know who appeared in this episode. Maybe a certain somebody. Like a Titan arc? That could work. I don't know if they'll do it. Your favorite character did, you know. Yep. Yeah, she showed up in the episode, Fizz. The Rising Tacklers were literally hiding in the Brave Asagi in Iono's place, so she kind of had to appear. It's the same place it was stored at when it got damaged back at the end of Arc 2. No Titans, I want Horizon to have its own spin on the Scarlet and Violet characters. Technically they're doing that, since Penny's not tied with Team Star and Nimona. Well, Nimona's Nimona. I guess we'll see. Wait, but if Fizz didn't know Iono was in the episode, then who voted low? I have a suspicion of who might have done that, but yeah, I won't say it, any names. But 10-9 and 8-7 are tied completely, and we're pretty much at the 1 hour mark now. So, if you guys could do me a favor and hit that like button, I'd definitely appreciate it. And also vote in the poll if you haven't already. It's probably a hate watcher. I do have a couple of those. There's a few people that like show up and just dislike my streams or videos. It happens. Alright, see you, Thomas. Thank you for hanging out with us. And we'll see you next week. Why, it's so dumb. Yeah, you know, that's what you'd think, but people do it. If that's how they want to spend their free time, I don't know. You know, more watch time for me, I suppose, right? And more interactions for me, because even though I ask for likes, dislikes also help as well, ironically. So if you're gonna hate watch, you know, just put it out there that you're technically like helping me out slightly. Yep, more engagement. So thank you. Wait, what's this song, by the way? I've heard it a few times, but I don't think I've ever looked it up. Oh, this one's an original. Thunder Snails. Interesting. I like it. I don't know what it reminds me of, but it sounds neat. But, yep, guys, we are pretty much hitting the 1 hour mark now. I'm getting kind of close to my lunchtime here, so... What else you guys got for me today? We managed to make it to the 1 hour mark. I was getting a little nervous that we weren't going to for a minute there. Got slightly dry for a little bit, but we picked up here towards the end of the first hour. So yeah, what you got for me? Anything else? Again, remember likes and votes if you haven't done so already. 10, 9, 8, 7, completely tied. You got nothing else? Well, if that's the case, then I guess we can probably end the stream now, earlier than normal, but hey, we hit the 1 hour mark, so we're in that range anyway, so we did good today. This was more of a I've already voted and liked. Thank you. Well, to be completely honest, like I said a couple times in the stream already, we're kind of at a point where it's like, I mean, we kind of know what's coming next. We got this final bout in Rakua, but we don't know how we're going about it. We don't know if Rising Again is going to end next Friday. Typically, like if we're on the same schedule as the last 2 years, this upcoming Friday's episode would be the end of the arc, but it might not be. They might break tradition here and like expand the Rising Again arc, or we could get that announcement this week anyway. So be on the lookout for that. Just hope it doesn't come on the day of my procedure. So we'll see. Watch, it's going to happen on the day of my procedure, and I'm going to scream. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we get some new information soon. But like I said, hopefully it surprises me. Hopefully they don't expand it. Yeah, my thought is this Friday's episode should be it. It'd be ending on a better note than the previous arc. It'd be a Mega Halucha versus Mega Lucario Z. Sounds like a pretty nice way to end this arc off and kind of go on to what the following arc, which will be probably wrapping up the main story of the series. I feel like this has already been dragged out at times already. Yeah, I think it's time to just go to Rakua and just you know, take on Spinel and his goons. You know, take up as much time as you can to, you know, resolve the plot there. And then, you know, we'll see where we go with the series after that. You just never know. Like I said, I want to be surprised. Surprise me, Horizons. You've done it before, and you can do it again. So we'll see what the series has for us. But anywho, since we pretty much don't have anything else to talk about today, we're gonna wrap things up. Time to beat Spinel and his gooners. Oh, I love it. Onyx, what are you doing? Goons. Good lord. That's funny, though. You're fine. It made for a good moment. Alright, anywho, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up, so I'll end the poll. 10-9, 8-7 tied. How does an 8 for this episode sound? Sounds good to me. Mostly solid episode overall. But anyways, yep. And I got nothing else to really talk about today, and well, I'm hungry. I need foods, so I'm gonna go get said foods. Sounds good to me too. Yep. Great minds think alike. Alright. Anyways, I hungry. I don't want to get hangry, so I'm gonna go do that and get my food here. Subway sounds good to me today, so I think we'll do that. Anyways, y'all, that wraps up today's stream. We'll be doing this again, of course, next week. And then we have a break on the 27th, so next week's live discussion will be the last for this month. This upcoming week, we got some more Fire Red. Be on the lookout for any Horizons news. Got my procedure on Wednesday, so again, I hope no news drops on that day, because I won't be too happy if I have to do like a video while I'm, you know, post-procedure. So, we'll see. we'll see what happens, but that's a kind of a look at what we're going to be doing next week. So anyways, that's all I got for today. So if you're still here, thank you so much for joining. Have a good day or night, River Rat. I'll see y'all later. Bye.